YouTube, what up? Right now we got Power Book 2, Season 4, Episode 6 recap, man. I was supposed to do it, what was that, Saturday, but I messed up. I really wasn't feeling it, so I didn't want to put out the content that I actually stopped recording the video that I feel like I did so bad on it, so I'm finally doing it now. Better late than never. It really don't matter, as long as the quality is right. But let's go ahead and get to it. I got my notes. And shit, let's get it. We pop off the episode with, and it was very action packed, and this was a great episode. I said that in the episode 7 trailer. It was a great episode, but let's go ahead and get into it, man. We start off with Drew. He out here peeping now, you know what I'm saying? He's out here trying to find out a weakness of Detective Carter, just scoping him out, and he think he got it all under control when. And Detective Carter, he ain't doing nothing but on his job, harassing, petty criminals and things like that. And all of a sudden he gets a text from his phone like, "Why are you following me?" from an unknown number. Then he looks back up at Detective Carter, he gone. And then he looks up in the rearview mirror, and there go Detective Carter. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. And I actually like that. It kind of give him this not just aura, I don't want to say, everybody been saying aura lately. This prestige about him. You know what I mean? This enigma, this, something that's not familiar with. You're not familiar with it. So now we got Monet and Diana, they baby shopping and shit. They doing that little girl stuff. Carter's blowing up Monet, she ain't answering the phone. Drew ends up calling, and she end up answering the phone. They gotta go back to the crib. So now we got Tariq and Brayden and Kane and Norma. They chopped it up in the public place, of course. It's a smart thing to do. Because Norma wants to take out Tariq right now. The only reason she wasn't able to take him out last time was because Ayana, because she was at the party as well. And, we got to remember about that. So, they just trying to buy time and find a way to get back in Norma's good graces. So that's what that conversation was about. And Kane knows that, you know what I mean? So when Kane and Norma end up walking off, Norma is trying to set up a meeting with Wiley Adams, to talk more about the business aspect of it. And Kane wants to get in that meeting. At first, she was kind of like, you need to figure out the Zion problem, woo. And Kane like, nah, I need to be at this meeting, and I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody try to cut you out the picture. Shit, and that's the thing about what we can take from that is just being aggressive and taking on the opportunity at hand. If you can't find an opportunity, you gotta make one. At the crib and shit, chilling. Drew get there. He talking about some y'all baby shopping and shit like that. And then Detective Carter's task force, they come in here breaking shit, pushing niggas against the wall, upping the strap on folks, and it's crazy, right? Detective Carter comes in, he's like, red. You can't answer your phone, really just kind of just showing his dominance and flexing his muscle. And Felicia, she the craziest one. Besides Detective Carter, she the craziest one. I like it. Even though her time is very short because we know what she's going to do at the end of the episode. But yeah, basically just to let motherfuckers know, like, bro, I ain't fucking around. I know where you at. It ain't hard. I can take you out. Just flexing his muscle. So what they do end up doing is, They gotta take Drew to jail so he can handle this job for him. And that's taking out Zay Green. And, flexing his muscle once again, I mean, that's crazy, right? So now it's like a GTA mission going on. So now we at the business meeting with Wiley Adams, Norma, and Kane. What I liked about it was Kane, even though he's been doing a phenomenal job as far as like growing as far as his character, he still got a little bit of flaws. Like when Wiley Adams was trying to get the rest of his money, Kane was finna hand it over the table. But Norman had to grab it like, nah, do it under the table. But then Zion come through blasting. End up killing Adams and shit, They had to get the money and get up out of there. It's crazy. But Zion, he ain't had no mask on. He was sloppy with stealing the Bronco that he was riding in. I mean, he just went. They really kind of dumbed his character down just to get him out of there. Truth be told, it's a lot of storylines that got to be wrapped up. And even though I like Zion's character, the writer's choice was we got to get him out of here and we got to make him do some dumb stuff to get him isolated. So now we got Nico pulling up to the jail, like telling Drew what's up. Like, man, look, man, you gotta take this man out. And if you take him out, shit, we can talk about getting you out of jail. But you gotta do this for us. So he ended up handing him a burner, and now we know what Drew has to do. So now we got we got Noma, man. She was blaming Kane a lot. And that's kinda like the women and accountability. I mean, let's keep the show all the way 100. I mean, that's in their nature. You know, us as men, we always take accountability, even if it ain't our fault. You know, but her spazzing is just funny as fuck. And it's like Kane don't even be stunning that shit. But you know why? Cause mama the same damn way. You know what I mean? So he used to it. So like when she threw the damn glass, he ain't spazzing. He like just look, casually just walks up to the bar. Well, not the bar, but the table. It kind of looked like a bar table, but he pours himself a drink. I mean, you know, and she's kind of like, what we gonna do about that Zion situation? So that scene was funny. They do that. They got some good chemistry going on with them two actors right there. I do like it. I like when they're on the screen together. So Effie ends up pulling up, and Noma wants Effie to talk to the Russians to see if they want to buy some more product. You know, and before Effie is leaving, Kane like, shit, I'm gonna walk you out. Noma like, Kane? Well, a little jealous ass, little cool ass. So now we got Zion. Detective Carter ends up contacting Zion, you know what I'm saying, and telling him basically you hot. And while Detective Carter is talking to him, you know, Felicia, she in the background like, man, you know. So she had to talk shit to him like, man, you need to get on down. We got this little safe house. You need to duck off, bro. You hot. Like, you know, you was real sloppy with it. Like I was telling you about, he ain't had no mask on. It just a lot of shit that cause he been in the game for a minute. I know I'm kind of messing up, but Zion the character is he supposed to be a veteran. He been around. He know Tommy angles, so he been around for a minute. You telling me he fucked up that quick, that soon? What for Noma? I mean, I know Noma is a head honcho. She's running shit, but still, like, he's smarter than that. So now he got to duck off. And Detective Carter like, man, nah, I'm gonna need you to kill him. You need to get rid of him. And that's actually Felicia's job. But of course, she's gonna get a call from the higher ups. So Monet, she ends up pulling up on Kane like, man, look, this is Monet's problem. I don't know why she just won't just tell Kane 100% of the truth. Like, Kane, you know Kane doing his own thing. He's trying to separate himself from you. He still cares about you. So all you gotta do is just tell him the truth. Like, man, look, I know this dude named Detective Carter. He dangerous. We need to do something. Tell him instead of telling him, look, Noma got some heat coming her way. And Kane's looking at that like, man, you really just, you know, you just mad, etc. because I'm making moves and she retired your ass. You're talking shit, but if you just talking the truth, shit, that's all that matter. But Kane can read in between the lines a little bit like, okay, she actually just checking on me. She care about me. She wants me to, you know, keep my head on the swivel type shit. So Anya and Tariq, they back at it again on the twin side bed, and, you know what I'm saying? And they end up having a moment as far as, you know, speaking about their families. And Anya's, I think she said that Noma was from Nigeria. She goes like every once in a while, but she can never go. So that's going to be very interesting. I wonder if they're going to sprinkle that in there this season, but I'm not sure because we only got 4 episodes left. But he was able to get some intel. And again, Tariq talking about goals being selfish and all that shit. Nigga, look in the mirror, nigga. You just like that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So now, Felicia, she coked up, sniffed up. She gotta find a way. Well, nah, the higher ups called her in, you know, so she can't go kill Zion. So she has to find somebody else to do it. So before she pulls up on Monet, because she was looking for Monet. Before she pulls up, she ends up doing a line. And she little get me up, whatever y'all like to call it, y'all little coke sniffers. But she ends up pulling up on Noma, but she ends up finding Diana. So she's like, Diana, you have to kill Zion. But you know damn well, you know, Zion is way out of Diana's league when it comes to shit like that. And then she's pregnant, you know what I'm saying? So that's what she gotta do. This probably one of my favorite scenes of the whole episode, man. Effie and Tariq, on-screen chemistry is great as well. It's very great. So, you know, Diana ends up pulling up on Tariq like, man, we got to talk. But before that shit, Diana has to go to the bathroom because she got to throw up. So Effie peeping this shit out or whatever. So she goes to approach Tariq like, man, y'all cool. I mean, I can tell y'all got something going on and shit. Tariq like, man, shut the fuck up, Effie. You know, she's going through a lot right now. And then, you know, Effie's kind of telling Tariq like, look, man, if she's trying to hide that she's pregnant, telling light-skinned Keisha it was not the smart move. And then she ends up putting two and two together like, man, oh shit, that's your baby? You know, then she get to going crazy, talking about, so y'all need to get an abortion, just talking trash. And which I didn't even know was when that conversation was wrapping up, in the background there were two college students that was sitting right there and they was looking like, you know what I'm saying? So she was being loud. So it's kind of like you know, that's kind of crazy when somebody to say you need to get an abortion, loud as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And Diana, when she was getting her rocks off too, though, she was saying, you know, keep fucking my brother, you just a side piece. And then she was like, you know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I love it. I love it. I love it, man. So we got, oh yeah, I forgot. And then Diana ends up telling Tariq what has to be done. So of course he's gonna take that responsibility to take out Zion himself. So he ends up pulling on Davis McClain. And they end up coming up with a plan to use this proposition, or to use this activity they got to do to make a proposition to Noma to get back in their good graces. So that's exactly what they're gonna do. So shit, this nigga named Scoop ends up trying to pull a fast one on Kane, and ends up getting his ass reversed. And shit, now this nigga looking crazy. And he ended up giving intel about, you know, the whole Zay Green situation. And I don't think it was Zay Green himself. Let me look at my notes. Yeah, he did telling Kane about what he heard about Monet and etc. and things like that. And so now, you know, now Kane starting to put two and two together. You know what I'm saying? Monet tells Detective Carter the shipment was the Russians and threatens Don Carter. So Monet ends up pulling up on Don Carter like, look, man, that was the Russian shipment, you know, except cause he's trying to find out who it is. But she can't tell Don Carter that that's Noma's shipment. I mean, you know, and that was a smart play by her. You know what I'm saying? Kind of just throw her off trail. I mean, throw Detective Carter off trail, cause we know that he's finna raid they ass. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna lie, he getting shit done. You know what I'm saying? So you got to throw him off the trail, and that's what she did. And then she's also trying to protect Kane. Also, it's not just about, you know, Noma entirely. It's about protecting Kane. So Drew in jail and shit. He overhearing Roman talk about snitching on Don Carter to get out of jail and shit like that. So what he ends up doing is starting to fight with him to get them two isolated, and straight up he take the nigga out. I mean, was it realistic? Absolutely not. But shit, Drew got the job done, and they got the business cleared. Shit, straight up. So Effie went to the Russians. You know, Effie got a good relationship with the Russians. You know what I'm saying? And they in there chopping it up, small talk. And then they get to talking about business. But shortly after, shit, Detective Carter's task force, he ends up going in there. And they just get to shoot it out, no questions asked. They just going back and forth, trading shots. You know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers getting dropped off. You know, we got Kamal Tate in there. I mean, it's going crazy. And Effie almost gets killed. You know what I'm saying? A couple instances. First of all, she did a smart move by being under one of the guys that already passed, if she did do that on purpose. But she ended up going upstairs. She was finna go through the exit. And she was finna get killed by one of the officers. But a Russian ended up killing him. Was shooting her. I think he survived. Well, shit, she ends up getting up out of there. But shit, Kamal Tate ends up seeing Nico kill one of the Russians and taking the product and the cash or whatever case may be, right? So now Kamal Tate knows that Nico is dirty, just him specifically. And we're gonna see what's gonna happen with him later on in this episode. So Drew ends up getting the business clear, so he ends up calling Nico like, look, man, I got this shit. I did this shit. You know, and you got another dude that can threaten your operation. But if I do this, I need to be in the higher ups, and I also need you to leave my sister and my mom's alone. So Drew, I ain't fucking with Drew. I'm still not fucking with him, but he is making moves and he is making the best out of his opportunities. You can't do nothing but respect that. I respect shit like that. I like seeing shit like that. So we got Kane pulling up on Monet. He really trying to he really confronting her about the intel that he's been learning. He's been putting two and two together. Monet, her classic maneuver is just manipulating the situation and throwing them off the trail. Like, that nigga is absolutely right. And he knows it, you know what I'm saying? But, she's going to continue to deny. So, that's basically what it was. So now we got Kane, Noma, Tariq, and Mr. McClain. They came to Noma with the proposition like, look, man, if you let us get back in your good graces and we can get the product, I'll kill Zion for you. But of course I'm killing Zion because I'd rather work with you and you got better product and etc. So Noma needed Zion to be out the picture anyways. Cause Kane, he tried to do it just the old fashioned way, he just put hands on him. But that shit ain't work. And that shit don't work today either. Usually you can't just fight niggas. That's a very, very rare occurrence if you can just fight a nigga without shots being, shot. You know what I mean? But that's what it is. Before we get to that, Brayden tweaking and shit on stage. I mean, he high as hell going up on stage. And I'm glad she didn't have a scene today. But, what's her name? A? Yeah, he just up there tweaking and shit like that, having a good time. Just being reckless, right? So shit, Tariq ends up pulling up to the side like, look, man, we gotta kill Zion tonight. I need you to test it right now. We already sold everything. We need to get this money, etc. Boom, boom. So they finna get the fuck up out of there. But before they could get out of there, well, Tariq that is, Anya ends up pulling up on him like, look, where you going? The party just started. Her little freaky ass. But Tariq got business to handle, so he had to get on down. So shit, they end up pulling up on Zion and shit like that. Brayden, he ends up looking at Brayden through the peephole, and then Brayden just looking crazy, right? Like he up to something. And Zion already know it, so when he opened the door, he pulled that nigga in. And then that's when the shit happened. Shit, Zion throwing Brayden through the damn wall and shit. He threw Tariq through the damn glass door. He choking him out. Brayden hit him upside his head. And shit, Tariq ended up getting some glass and ended up shanking the nigga. So he did do that, and he ended up killing him. And probably one of the coldest things that Tariq done did, this whole spinoff, Zion said, man, I see you, little ghost. And then the nigga Tariq said, not no more. And finished his ass. So that was cool. I like that shit, you know what I'm saying? So now we got Diana. Of course, Tariq ends up calling Diana like, look, yeah, I took that shit. I took care of that all. They ain't got to worry about that. So now Diana's kind of relaxed and she's like, I want some cookies. She's like, the baby wants some cookies, but that's really her. And she's like, I want to get some cookies. You can meet me at Woo to Woo. So they finna meet up in a minute. Bonding. So Davis McClain ended up texting Kane like, yo, we took care of that problem. So it was a perfect moment for Kane to tell Noma that, yeah, it was lying this whole time. Even though it was a lie, it was, that's what I forgot to say. He found out that Monet was the one that took Noma's shipment. But of course she didn't admit to it. So I forgot to put that in there, so y'all forgive me. I'm not looking at my notes no more. I'm looking at these pictures. So now we got Kane protecting Monet, because it's always family first. That's what his pops told him. That's how they was raised. So he's like, man, yeah, he just threw Zion under the bus and he's already dead, so why not? So he's able to get that shit straight. And that's what it was. And also, he heard about the shootout with the Russians. So he get to asking about Effie, like, Effie, alright? Then, Noma like, yeah, your little girlfriend, alright? You know what I'm saying? He like, nah, just shit, you supposed to care about your soldiers. But Noma, she can read through that shit. A little cool guy, you know what I'm saying? So shit, when Kane's leaving, Noma already know where he going. So he ends up putting up on Effie, and this is probably one of his main weaknesses, and that's just pussy. Period. We'll just keep this all way 100. He has feelings for these women, and he at the beginning when we was first introduced to Kane, he was fucking and ducking her. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know where this shit came from, all this lovey-dovey shit, but he got to get it together. That's probably his main weakness right now. You know, at first he was just always worried about Tariq, but now he's still worried about Tariq a little bit. He looking more as a rival, I feel like, than just flat out enemy. But yeah, he need to get his head on straight. So shit, Felicia ends up looking at the camera, and I didn't even think the camera was probably even at that safe house, but of course it would. And she probably was finna set up Diana like, yeah, we gonna take your ass to jail. You know, I don't know, but that could have been a possibility when I was thinking about why she would have a camera right there. But she ended up seeing that it was Tariq, so she's finna approach Diana, and how she does that is with the burner phone. And I don't know why the hell Diana had the burner phone on her anyway. She should have left that shit at the house or something. But she basically ended up getting her ass whooped. You know, Diana was talking back to her. Then that turns into her slapping Felicia, and Felicia just ends up beating the dog shit out of her, throwing her in the garbage, kicking her in the stomach, kicking little Lorenzo St. Patrick. He probably, you know, the little one probably dead. I mean, it's just crazy, man. Really whooped the shit out of her, looking all crazy, coked up, probably still high. And you know, her days is numbered. I mean, I think Diana's gonna be the one that's gonna finish her off. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Fucked up. So Kamal Tate ends up approaching Detective Carter like, look, man, Nico, that nigga dirty and shit. Detective Carter tried to reason with him like, man, look, man, you want money? Is it money? You know, I got this shit on lock. He tried to open up to Kamal Tate about his wife and shit. Kamal Tate really wasn't trying to hear that shit, so Detective Carter finished his ass off. He had to. And yeah, this nigga, he ain't playing no games. I mean, I've been waiting on a villain like this in Power for a minute. You know, at first it was like Kanan, except Kanan, well, he wasn't no cop, he wasn't no officer or nothing like that, but somebody who just seemed like unstoppable and had everything under control was Kanan, and then this nigga right here. And of course Mecca too. Mecca had that too, but they killed him off too soon. Then he became a global snitch and shit like that. Crazy. But yeah, Tariq ended up finding Diana. He's calling her and shit like that. And when he's calling her, he hears her phone ring, so he goes to the corner and sees her laid out by the trash. Crazy. So that was this was a very good episode, man. Y'all forgive me, man. It's been a minute since I did a recap. The next one will be better, but I hope y'all had a good one. I apologize for the delay. Y'all be smooth. I'm out of here.